tradition for 12 days.
And everywhere we went, everyone knows Chef Michel, and so we were treated like royalty.
Every day was packed full of exciting adventures, including wineries, distilleries, snail farms, trout farms, pig farms, and chocolate tours.
And one of our favorite days started in the morning with picking herbs from a mountainside. We picked herbs and saved some of them in our suitcase, brought them back, dried them, and they are in your butter tonight. The second thing we did that day is we went to a vinter's house. We sat outside on little tables in his farm, and his wife baked us fresh focaccia bread, which is also on your menu tonight. And we drank wine. And then we were told we were going for a picnic lunch, which we expected to have brown bag lunches with a soda. When we arrived at the riverbank for our picnic lunch, we were surprised to find a table set with linens and china and chefs on site to cook for us a lovely 6-course luncheon. The day ended with a fabulous dinner where we learned how to make the famous French cassoulet dish. We were invited into the kitchen, of course, because they knew Chef Michel. And we had cassoulet and wines and desserts, and we learned all about cassoulet, singing the songs. And at the end of the evening, we were all to be donned ambassadors of the cassoulet. So in order to receive our certificates, we had to stand and bow before the Pope of cassoulet and say,
Go by me!
I'll go by me. We still don't know what that means, but
We said it.
we said it, and it was fun.
This trip was an award for winning the culinary competition. 8 of the finalists were winners, and we all had to either compete or do a practical for graduation.
And another one of our trip highlights, which extended our culinary training, was we were able to spend an entire day at the Paul Bocuse Culinary Institute in Lyon, France. It was a wonderful day, and Chef Michel made sure we did it in grand fashion. First, we arrived all dressed up and had a 7-course lunch with fine dining, and then we were invited into the kitchen. We changed into our chef clothes. We were presented with these lovely orange aprons from Paul Bocuse and our own knife kits from Paul Bocuse, and we cooked our own dinner. The chef who taught us everything that we made was French, spoke French, and so we had to have translators. Anyway, everything turned out lovely, and again, one of our courses tonight is the asparagus, which was one of the things we made at the Paul Bocuse Culinary Institute.
What led us to Ivy Tech, Liat and I are the proud owners of Caruso's restaurant in Ingle, Indiana, a restaurant that our parents started in 1976, and we bought from them about 10 years ago. We were never formally trained, so we decided 6 years ago that we were going to go to culinary school.
So we enrolled in basic foods, and our instructor was Chef Jeff Bunting. We were so nervous on our first day of college, and we didn't know what would be expected of us. We did know we'd be the grannies in the class, most likely. So we arrived, and we had lecture, and then we went into the kitchen and began our assignments. My assignment was to julienne vegetables, so I began julienning, and Chef Jeff came up from behind and said, Liat, when will you begin julienning those vegetables properly? And I said, I guess when you show me how. Anyway, Chef Jeff was always gracious and very knowledgeable and patient and compassionate, and we feel very fortunate to have a relationship with him that I'm sure will last far beyond Ivy Tech.
We learned so many new skills and techniques, and it just renewed our passion for cooking, and it gave us new energy for a job that had become a little mundane after 30 years.
And we also formed some, like I said, great relationships. The networking with the students and the instructors has been fabulous. We've hired many Ivy Tech students. We've learned not to put an ad in the paper when we need help in the kitchen, but to call Ivy Tech and get some culinary students up there.
Part of our part of our enjoyment of France and all of the food that we were exposed to was knowing what it was and how it was prepared, because we had been to culinary school. So it just made it all the more special for us.
And we picked some of our favorites, like we've said before, to prepare for you tonight, with the help of our fearless leader, our chaperone, Chef Todd Downs. He led us on the tour. We had to be chaperoned. Our parents were very, very pleased. But he helped us develop the recipes for the foods tonight.
And we'd also like to thank Chef Jeff Bunting for organizing this event and this entire crew and everything that he has done for the program.
And we would also like to thank all of you very much for coming tonight and supporting the culinary program at Ivy Tech.
And it now is our pleasure to introduce Chancellor Mosier.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural year of Reason to Taste. Upon my arrival in Fort Wayne several years ago, one of the things that many people in the community asked me about is when would we reinstitute our culinary dinner? That many had fond memories of that dinner for many years, and we had stopped having it, I guess, for about 7 or 8 years. So tonight, we are reinstituting the annual now, Reason to Taste, culinary dinner, and we hope that you'll enjoy very much how we celebrate student successes. And our student success will be celebrated in a multitude of ways, through wine, food, dessert, and a wonderful silent auction. Many of our silent auction items are from our students from other programs as well. Our students have prepared a multi-course dinner inspired by their recent spring visit to southern France. But before we embark upon this culinary journey, there are a few people and organizations I would like to recognize that have really made this special evening possible. I'd like to introduce Sandy Kemish, Chair of the Planning Committee. She has done an extraordinary job as both our regional trustee and really heading this planning committee of this extraordinary evening.
Well, thank you all. On behalf of the Regional Board of Trustees and the Planning Committee, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming this evening. This is just a spectacular event, and you're really going to be impressed with the students and the work that they have done. I want to take a few minutes to thank our sponsors. No event would be possible without sponsors. And as I acknowledge you, if you would wave, that would be awesome. So first of all, our presenting sponsor this evening is Parkview Health, and they're at table number 3. There they are. Mike, Sue. So if I could ask Mike Packnett and Sue Anger to stand briefly, I would just like to say, stand up, Mike. Yeah. Thank you. Parkview has been dedicated to the mission of Ivy Tech and enabling our students to reach their career potential. We really want to thank you, Mike and Sue, for your unwavering support of Ivy Tech. And Kent Prosser, our next sponsor, is the reception sponsor, and that's the Plumbers and Steam Fitters, Local 166 of Fort Wayne. They're over here. And I'd like to ask Kent Prosser to stand, if he would. There he is. Kent, thank you. They are our reception sponsor this evening. Kent recently joined the board of Northeast Indiana Regional Tech, for Ivy Tech up here, and in just his short tenure, he's already demonstrated what a great advocate he can be for Ivy Tech and the students here, so we're very appreciative of that. I'd also like to recognize our corporate tables, so if you'll all just give me a minute. The first one is Asher Agency over here. We have BF Goodrich, right close by. Do It Best Corporation, Franklin Electric Company Incorporated, Hagerman Construction, Lincoln Financial Group, MSKTD Associates Incorporated, and NIPSCO. Those are our corporate sponsors. Please join me in thanking our corporate sponsors. Now I'm going to have Chancellor Moser join me again, and we have a very special presentation.
Ivy Tech Community College would not be where it's at today without the support and really the advocacy of our honorary chair of the dinner tonight. And it's with that we want to recognize Joan McNagny. Joan has been a supporter of Ivy Tech Community College since the very beginning. She was there at the signing of the bill authorizing Indiana Vocational Technical College, the precursor to Ivy Tech Community College. She and her husband Bill started the Glenn Sample Award for Outstanding Faculty that we award every year and has been awarded since 1980. She has since served the college in a multitude of ways through the Ivy Tech Foundation and remains on the foundation board as a director emeritus. Please join me in recognizing and thanking Joan McNagny for her help and support of Ivy Tech Community College. A special award to give to Joan this evening. The award, many of you received the invitation that was printed on a piece of cork. So in honor of Joan's support and as honorary chair of the dinner this evening, we have a commemorative framed shadow box containing the one-of-a-kind print block used to create the custom invitations on cork most of you received to be our guest this evening. Joan, thank you so much for your support and being our honorary chair this evening. I really appreciate it. Now I'd like to thank the Planning Committee to please approach the stage to be recognized. Planning Committee? Okay. There we go. Yes. Everybody there? As all of you know, nothing like this event can be pulled off without a lot of support, a lot of energy and enthusiasm and hard work. And these are the individuals who really have made this evening possible. Under the great leadership of Sandy Kemish, who honestly, she was the driver, she was the supporter, she was the person who organized the energy of each individual and pulled on their strengths in order to pull this evening together. I can't say enough about her support and her leadership in this capacity. So much thanks to Sandy. And then I would also like to introduce to you the rest of the committee. Jeff Bunting, chef. Dr. Robert Detmer, who is not up there, but he's waving from the other side, who is chair of our regional board of trustees. And Heather Alcoin Iraculus, yes, I didn't get that right. I knew I wouldn't, Heather, I'm sorry. Alice Eshelman, who is not here this evening. Ariane Giuliano, thank you, Ariane. Donna Kessler, thank you, Donna. Aja Michael, John Malentis, Shannon Silcox. Wave, big wave. There we go, okay. Andrew Welch and Courtney Zachman. Thanks to all of you for your help and support. I'd be pleased to say bon appetit and enjoy the evening.